The Supreme Court says it plans to take up a constitutional challenge from the Biden administration on state bans on gender-affirming care for minors in its next term. The case from Tennessee involves a 15-year-old transgender girl's parents who are suing the state, claiming its law restricts certain types of medical treatment for minors, arguing that denying transgender youth access to these forms of medical care discriminates against transgender youth. Tennessee argues the treatment is harmful to children. ABC's senior national correspondent Terry Moran joins me now for more. Terry, this case is setting the stage for a major transgender rights decision in the Supreme Court's next term. What's at stake here?
Well, it's a huge case. You're absolutely right about that, Ike. So there are more than 20 states that have passed some version of this ban on transgender medical care for transgender minors. That includes hormone therapy, transgender surgeries, puberty blockers, and the like. Tennessee mentions all three. And for Tennessee, this is about putting the brakes on this movement to affirm the gender identity of young people, minor children under the age of 18, in a way that the legislators in Tennessee thought was dangerous to their communities. They basically don't want this care available. On the other side, you have the parents of adolescent transgender kids with gender dysphoria, who are saying this is not just necessary, this can be life-saving treatment. And the Biden administration has joined the case, affirming that, saying that the overwhelming medical evidence is that this is important care, medical care for transgender kids to have. Now, this all does happen against the background of public health authorities across countries in Europe and even to some degree in the United States rethinking what the data actually say about the efficacy and safety of this kind of care for minors. But this case focuses on that Tennessee law, which bans it outright.
Now, Terry, we're still awaiting opinions from this year's term. What else are we watching for this week?
Well, this is going to be a huge term in and of itself. That case comes next year. We still have waiting for a ruling on that big abortion case out of Idaho. This is the first test of a state's ban on abortion since the court overturned Roe versus Wade 2 years ago, and it has to do with Idaho's very strict ban, no exception for the health of the mother. Only abortions are permitted in order if it was necessary to prevent death, or in the cases of rape or incest. And that means that women who have tragic complications that need emergency care can't get it under this law in Idaho. So the United States had passed a law 40 years ago saying that any American who walks into an emergency room will get the necessary emergency care to stabilize their condition. And in these tragic cases, sometimes that is the termination of a pregnancy. So that's the showdown. What takes precedence? The federal law guaranteeing that emergency care to people who need it in this country, or the Idaho law saying it has to be necessary to prevent death?
Terry Moran, thank you for your reporting.